same page.
I keep hearing that a lot of people have said, the Deshaun Watson trade killed everything, and that's mostly true. However, if the Browns, let's say Jackson Dart is the next good quarterback. We don't know that yet. It's too early to say.
Yeah.
He's shown some good things. Ross think he is going to be the next good quarterback.
Right.
Well, if the Browns had drafted Jackson Dart and he had shown those same things he had, not like the Giants have been a good organization recently.
No.
And their best player, their best receiver's hurt. So it's not like he's helping the situation. And now their second best player, Scadaboo's hurt for the year. But yet, Dart showed like he may be the guy. Okay, well, even with the Deshaun Watson trade, if Dart was here and we felt the same way the Giants fans do, like I think we got the guy, it'd be a totally different story right now.
It would be, but he's not. And so that's a big if.
Well, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, even with the Deshaun Watson trade, if you had gotten it right,
but
you could have moved out of it.
To me, the pain that we've had to go through the last 3.5 years after we made that trade, that's not erased if we get Jackson Dart.
No, it's not erased, but it gets you headed in the right direction sooner.
You're right. Maybe it set you back 5 years instead of 8 or 10.
You could have come back from it quicker.
You could have helped yourself.
Yes, and you haven't been able to do that.
Stefanski and Barry and all of the powers that be looked at all the Giants didn't take him with their first pick.
No, and again, we don't know. The jury's still out on Jackson Dart, obviously.
It is,
but he's showing some stuff.
But he's showing signs.
Something in Jackson Dart that we have not yet seen in Dillon Gabriel.
Of course,
now, granted, he was a first-round pick compared to a third-round pick.
Dillon, see, we're not going to put them in the same
It's interesting
category.
that Ross does have the pragmatic view, and that's guys, you're being impatient. Let's wait and see. I like that he said, and this might be why Stefanski was so quick to say, no, I'm not making the change coming into the bye. Let's see what Dillon Gabriel looks like after he gets the bye week and a little time to clear his head from what's happened. And if he looks equally bad after the bye, I think we are a step closer to going to Shedeur Sanders, even though Ross thinks it's going to be a dumpster fire.
Ain't no step. Listen, he can look bad against the Jets. Let him come out here and look trash against the Jets. Come on, man. By the way.
No, what I'm saying is, though, if there's a team for him to look – I think the reason that Stefanski is doing this is he's saying, I'm not going to sit my guy when I've got a week to get ready.
There it is.
For a team.
But
there it is.
That makes perfect sense, though.
That's his. I've never said that. Look, that's his dude. He's going to give him
unequivocally his
He's going to give him. Listen, that's like saying bench your son. I'm not benching my son, and I'm the coach.
Of course you're not.
We're going to work on it. So he's going to give him every opportunity. And what I'm saying,
especially this one.
This one. Guess what? I'm going to make this statement. Now, this might be crazy, but you tell me what you think.
You make a lot of statements that could be in that category.
Yeah, they could be
loud work.
Loud.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, we be doing a lot.
Wild work?
Yeah, wildest.
Wild work. Here it comes.
I don't think Kevin Stefanski is going to willingly go to Shedeur Sanders ever.
I don't think so either. I said that Monday. The owner's going to tell him.
Injury or owner.
Injury or owner.
He'll get to a point where they're going to say, we done made the decision.
We want to see him.
And that's what
Imagine they try to play Bailey Zappe.
Oh,
my.
There'll be a riot.
I literally think that they stopped that decision too, because it looked like Bailey Zappe was going to play.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah.
Yeah, at this point, you don't want to win games. At this point, you want a high draft pick. That's it. And Bailey Zappe probably does give them the best chance to win games, and that's not saying much. But he's an experienced NFL quarterback. He probably gives them the best chance to win games.
Remember when I got yelled at for saying that?
I remember.
It's true.
Hold on. I remember when Bailey Zappe was here and he was throwing.
We know he stinks. We don't know what you're doing.
I just saw Bailey Zappe throw pick sixes against the Baltimore Ravens in a Cleveland Browns jersey. I know he's trash.
I know, but listen, we got three guys. Can this be true? We got 3 guys that are trash. Doesn't one of them have to be the best?
Well,
and if you use conventional wisdom, who probably, forget developing for the future, who, if you had to win against the Jets and you can start any of the 3, who are you starting?
Shedeur Sanders.
For the win.
Shedeur Sanders.
Not to see if these.
No.
This is a game
Shedeur
for your life.
I'm starting Zappe right now.
I am too.
I am
too.
I'm not starting
Zappe. That strikes funny because people are like, but he's not our quarterback of the future. No, I didn't say that. I said you've got one game to win for your life.
I mean,
You gonna put someone out there that you've never seen before?
hey, listen, they put somebody out there I didn't see before in Dillon Gabriel.
It's one game for your life. I wouldn't put Dillon Gabriel out
Do you
there
guys
either.
remember, and this is
And I've seen him.
Imagine it comes down to this choice for your life.
Oh my God.
it's a terrible decision.
I think I would go with Shedeur Sanders. I think I would.
One game for your life.
Begrudgingly,
Even
yeah.
even after hearing Ross say
I
what he
just-
said.
I saw what I saw.
Where?
I saw Dillon Gabriel throw the ball to a nobody in the corner.
I know,
for
but I
safety.
saw-
You know two of them versus the unknown, and if you don't like what you know,
Yeah,
then maybe the
so
unknown's
it's
better.
that's Russian roulette. Like, just spin it and hope. Like at that point,
I'm not
I
giving
have
much hope
to
of
have
Bailey Zappe
someone that I
either.
know has had a little bit of success in the NFL
Has
because it's
he?
for my
I mean,
life.
it's just you know.
He's won a game.
So is
won
PJ
multiple
Walker.
games.
I mean, I'm not. But
Bailey-
eventually, I got.
Probably trust PJ Walker more too.
I might too. That's how bad
I don't
things
know.
are.
This is why we look insane. We've seen Bailey Zappe play in the Browns uniform. He was not good.
I'd rather.
No, but again, he's the most experienced of the three.
But it looks like this is guys. It looks like we'll take anybody except for Shedeur Sanders. Anybody.
If one game for my life, I would.
So, okay.
Yes.
So you
but
said
we've got
Huntley-
other things to decide. We've got to decide is Shedeur him?
No,
Can he play?
I would choose Shedeur Sanders.
One
This is
game
a
for your
crazy
life.
conversation, but I would choose.
I mean, for your
Hey,
life. I mean, this
crazy.
is wild.
Real quick before we
never
move on,
know.
'cause we do
I'm
have to
with
talk
you,
some
Dustin.
Cavs.
That is crazy.
Steve, take the schedule graphic full here.
Yeah.
For the sake of just conversation, we know Dillon's going to start against the Jets, so that's week 10.
Yes.
After the bye. This is the schedule following the Jets game. They're back home against the Ravens, in Vegas, home against the Niners, home against the Titans, and then at the Bears. Do you think if a quarterback change, whether it's from Gabriel to Zappe or Gabriel to Sanders, whatever that may be, do you think it happens during this 5-game slate, or does it happen in the backstretch where they have their final 3 games, which is against Buffalo, the Steelers, and then
that
at
would be-
Cincinnati?
Oh my God! Yeah, don't put him out there against the Bills. If you put him out there against the Bills and the Steelers, good luck.
You got it. I would make the change way before that, but
Yeah,
who
if you're
knows
going
with
to
them.
make the
Yeah.
change, can you put that up again? If you're going to, if Dillon looks as bad as he has against the Jets, I'm automatically thinking, okay, I got to do something, and I'm not making a change to Bailey Zappe. I won't.
That's crazy.
Even though
Yeah.
if one game, gun to my head, you've got to win this game or you're dead. That's easy. Give me Bailey Zappe. But I don't want to put him out there against because by then the Ravens will have Lamar Jackson.
Lamar's playing on Thursday.
But the
being
Ravens'
honest,
defense stinks.
I'm putting him out there. I know, but it's going to be like the Ravens are going to score 35 points.
I don't care about the schedule. To me, I would
cares
play
about the
Shedeur
schedule?
Well, you
Sanders
want
now.
him to look good.
Nah, he
Well,
don't.
I just want him out
Okay,
there.
if that's the case, put him out there against the Niners.
I wanted to put him out
Fine,
there.
the Niners aren't any good.
I don't want him out there against the
Listen,
Niners.
guys.
Why?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you, after this season, are you guys all done with Shedeur if he plays bad?
Well, that's a big if. I mean, we got to see what he looks like.
If they draft a quarterback, the next
Yeah,
guy.
if they draft a quarterback, I think it's safe to say that both of these guys probably aren't long for their time here.
I don't know, man.
Now, they have 3-year
You draft
contracts.
a quarterback in the 5th round, that is a straight developmental guy.
It is 100%.
So,
The Eagles cut McCord already, though.
so the point is,
Yeah, and it's other teams have done that too.
I don't know. I mean, to me, a 5th round quarterback is a developmental guy that you're trying to see if he's got something.
I think it
and
depends
can
what it looks
learn
like, Dustin.
Because if you just throw the guy out there when the team's pretty much already tanked the season,
Yeah.
they're already looking at 1, 2, 3 Cancun. You know what I mean? I think there's a chance that Shedeur could get ruined this year.
It's super
that risk.
I think the conversation is borderline. It gets when we start talking about that is disingenuous because they've never even contemplated giving him an opportunity to do anything.
You know, I know he prefaced it by saying if he plays him, doesn't look good.
I mean, but he hasn't. They haven't given him reps ever.
What did McCord get before he got whacked?
He didn't get. He hasn't.
Nothing.
Even as a backup quarterback,
Saw
Jay,
him enough in practice to say he's not it.
Even in the backup quarterback, he still is like, yeah, we're not giving him first team reps. He didn't get first team reps in OTAs. He didn't get so the thought process is if you want to give somebody an equal opportunity or even a shot to even succeed, he said he was into developing everybody. It would be actually a situation where you give him reps, you develop him, you see him play, but he hasn't gotten reps
Under normal
at
circumstances,
any time.
you're right. But I think I can't remember the reporter that asked him, but it was one of the beat guys put Stefanski's feet to the
It
fire.
was Mary Kay.
I thought it was a guy. but maybe it was Mary Kay. Maybe you're not sure the question that I'm going to get to, but the question was, should Shedeur be getting reps? And he said, under normal circumstances, the backup quarterback.
That was last week. It was Scott Petrak.
Yeah, it was Petrak. He said, no, because I've got another young quarterback. So if I give anybody else reps, I'm stealing reps from my starting quarterback, who's a rookie who needs all the reps.
So that means he's not a priority, right?
He is not.
Okay.
But I don't think they've made any bone. They have not.
Okay.
They're not giving the illusion that he is a priority.
Oh.
He'll become a priority when he plays.
So think about it.
Just like DTR.
So think about it. So one quarterback has received reps since day one he got here.
Yeah, the guy they drafted higher.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Much higher.
Much higher. I get it. But here's the thing. In that case, why is he your backup quarterback then?
Well, someone's got to be.
No, they didn't. They could have kept Joe Flacco to do that.
Well, I think we all know why. They took him as a developmental guy.
And if he's not ready, why is he the backup then?
Well,
That's true. Bailey Zappe could be the backup.
Why didn't Bailey Zappe be the backup?
Well, I think we kind of parsed that out when the decision was being made. We all said Bailey Zappe was going to be the backup.
And what happened?
I think the owner picked up the phone and he goes, "Oh, no, I want my guy."
All right. Well,
that's what I think.
Well, I'm just asking from Jump Street because
Can you believe what we're arguing over?
Why wouldn't we argue?
No, I know.
Yeah.
But just think about how crazy it is that we're arguing over Gabriel, Shedeur, and Zappe.
Well, that's what
it's
really
just
Until the Browns have a quarterback, we got to keep arguing about quarterback.
But I remember having these conversations 10 years ago.
Yeah,
arguing
three
over
different guys.
Kessler versus Kaiser versus Hogan.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
It's the same damn thing.
Same exact thing.
Every year,
Which
it's
is why
bad
I
quarterbacks,
said that,
and we're arguing over who's worse.
The definition of insanity is when you keep
I'm
doing
losing
the
my
same
mind.
thing and expect
I
different
need
results.
I need a straitjacket.
I do too. That's where I am.
Well, let's talk a little.
I watched
Cavs
Sunday's
then
game
and calm
passively.
everyone down.
I wasn't like rooting.
I was very
I'm like, I
passive,
knew
too.
what the result was going to be.
Hey, I've always said it.
That's what I'm saying.
And I tell people,
I get your frustration.
the frustration is the Cleveland Browns told us that it was a competition. The Cleveland Browns told you that Kenny Pickett, they went and got him. They said he was the guy. They told you Flacco was the guy. They said that Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders were both going to play. They told us that. They didn't have to come out and say that. The organization had a press conference.
They lie to us all the time, G.
But I'm saying,
when their lips are moving, they're they're not being honest.
but our job is to have an opinion about what they've told us. So I didn't decide to make a conversation and argument about Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders.
Maybe
they drafted him.
Maybe you view your job to argue and debate what they tell us.
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago from people that had covered the league for 30 years prior to me getting there, and they told me, and I've said on this show, never believe what they tell you. Never. And you know what? For the most part, it's been true. They tell you whatever they want to tell you, whatever tale they want to spin, they spin it.
So why
and they don't care if it's truthful or not.
Why would you sit here and why would I believe wholeheartedly when they tell me
you shouldn't believe?
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying.
They say Shedeur Sanders is not ready to play.
Yeah,
should I believe that?
Here's the thing. I'm going to answer that real quickly. Thank you. G, now open your ears for a second and hear this. The Browns have not told us that.
They've told.
No, they have not told us that. We're here, and by the way,
Ross just told me he heard that.
You know who he's hearing it from?
Who?
Players. Same person Jason's hearing it from. Person most of the sources that I trust.
So coaches don't talk to unannounced sources. Coaches don't talk to sources?
The coaches?
General managers do that?
Listen, you said they. When you say they, I'm assuming you mean management. Browns, coaches, GMs.
Coaches and GMs talk to reporters off the record all the time, Jay.
Those people are not the ones putting this word out. At least from the people that I've heard it from. Because I've asked, and they're not going to tell me players' names, and quite frankly, I don't even ask players' names.
So you saying, Jay,
I don't want to know them.
Are you saying that general managers and coaches do not talk to reporters off the record?
Of course they do, and I don't know if they are or aren't in this case. Here's what I do know. Players are.
The Browns haven't said it publicly.
They have not said it publicly.
It's the difference between public and private. I get it.
Moving forward, what I would do if I were you is when you hear the Browns tell you something, it's going to be a competition. You know what they also told us? They told us that Deshaun Watson gives us the best chance to win. When they tell you things, and especially an organization that doesn't say much, their lips move and they don't say much. Now we've got the general manager taking cover. He's not even going to move his lips. So he's not even going to face the music, which I think is completely cowardice.
Part of the job.
It is part of the job, but again, especially when it comes to the draft, but I'm going to throw a blanket over all of it. NFL coaches, general managers, they are great at deception. They don't tell you what the story is, what the truth is. They don't. Now, they may whisper it to reporters off the record,
like
and that gets out. But in this case, the reporters that I've personally talked to, that I've asked pretty pointed questions, but not who, just from where is this coming? Players on the team. Okay, I'm asking people that I trust, and they're getting this from sources on the team they trust. The team has not told us anything.
On the record.
On the record. They have not stood in front of a microphone and said, Shedeur Sanders isn't ready. They have not done that. And by the way, I don't think they will. I think Kevin might skirt around it if this issue becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. He might ultimately throw that card on the table and say, look, guys, we see him every day in practice. We know what it looks like when someone's ready to put into an NFL game. He's just not there yet. He may get to that point, but he hasn't yet.
My question is, listen, if he would say that, I would have no problem with it.
I wouldn't either.
You can, if he,
but he won't do it.
But I'm just saying, like,
He won't do it.
guys, listen, I know everybody wants to see Shedeur. We're working with him. He's getting better every single week, and trust me, he's putting in the work, the time, energy, and effort. But right now, we feel like we got Dillon Gabriel, and Dillon Gabriel is a little more prepared to play.
And that would be perfectly fine to say, but he won't do that.
The people that are angry about Shedeur not playing, even if Stefanski said that, would say he's wrong. Which
of course
he
they
may
would.
be.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, to G's point, and I agree with G on
Stand
this.
on business, so they're mad.
You told me that Deshaun Watson gave us the best chance to win.
Did he
Right.
say that?
When that was a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
And we all saw it. We all knew it. He didn't give anybody the best chance. Not only was it a lie, Kevin didn't believe it. And he still was able to go in front of the media week after week and say, he gives us the best chance to win.
It's
And
crazy.
there was one point when he said, I got to look at the tape. This was immediately after a loss. I got to go back and look at the tape. He didn't even say that Sunday about Dillon Gabriel.
No, he did not.
So that is why.
And that was a little alarming to me. I thought for sure he could just kick it down the road and say,
McNuggets,
going into a bye week.
I'll give it to you. That's why it gives me pause when he says something, and I say, I don't know. You can't get mad if people don't believe it.
And
There's
we
a
did,
track
we did the
record.
whole we did the whole
Believe
segment
nothing,
yesterday on
folks.
Do you believe what
Believe none of
Stefanski's
it.
saying?
Yeah.
We got 5
None of
minutes to
it.
talk cash, so we're